Hello, class 10. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, and you have English literature to continue. It is a very happy thing to say that we have brought an end of our textbook treasure trove of stories and poetry. We have finished all the 10 poems, and we have also finished all 10 stories. Though the council, as per the new syllabus, we have 9 stories and 9 poems, right? So after the completion of our textbook treasure trove, we have to now start or carry on with The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. So before we take up the new portion that we are to carry on, let me just give you a recap of what we had done in class 9 syllabus in our last act and scene. The last act and scene in our last session was Act 3 Scene 1, and if you remember, the scene told us that we were in Venice, and whenever we were in Venice, we had been in the street. Almost all the scenes do take place on the Venetian streets, and there we saw the two friends Salarino and Salanio meeting each other, and as they meet, they always share us a new or the latest news what is happening in Venice. And this time too, Salarino brought news that Antonius shipwreck is confirmed, and we also came to know where did the shipwreck. It is in the Goodwin's Sand, which is known to be a very fatal zone for all the ships whenever they take the sea voyage out there. Right? Many of the carcasses are yet seen, as told in the scene, and we saw that after the two friends discuss about the latest information, we saw the entrance of Shylock. And as we know, when we see Shylock here, Shylock is displeased, he is very angry, just because his daughter Jessica got eloped with a Christian boy named Lorenzo. Not only she did get eloped, but she also took all the treasures from home, right? That has upset Shylock the most. And we notice here that Shylock is cursing his daughter for having done that, right? Salarino and Salanio, both of them also reveal the fact that Jessica had been to the tailor's place where she had stitched a new set of clothes for her ill friend, right? Then we notice Salarino also discussing the differences between the father and daughter, right? If Father Shylock is Z, then daughter Jessica is an ivory, and if Shylock is red wine, Jessica is Rhenish wine, right? But at the same time, they also ask, as for confirmation from Shylock, whether he knew that Antonius ship is wrecked or not, right? Shylock becomes more displeased on hearing this, because Shylock now expects that 3,000 ducats at least would be you can say got from Antonio, as he had borrowed the sum, right, for helping the son, right? But now Shylock understands that Antonio is completely a ruined person who once was a prodigal, right? And he takes up a chance of taking a revenge against Antonio, right? Saying that Antonio used to come in the mart, smiling on his face, right? And teasing Shylock more often, right? And now Shylock says, let Antonio see how is he going to repay the bond, right? He's already made up his mind that he will take revenge against Antonio, right? Saladino, in the casual talk, here asks Shylock whether he really meant that he would take the bond, where it is signed that if Antonio is not able to pay the borrowed sum to Shylock, Shylock would be entitled to cut upon the flesh from his body wherever he liked, right? So Saladino just asks whether he is really going to do that, right? Shylock says that it is a kind of bet that I have trapped Antonio, right? So whether it is going to feed him or not, anything, right? At least it would make him happy because Shylock has taken the revenge against Antonio, right? And then he emptied his mind on every complaint that he has against Antonio, right? That Antonio has ruined his profit and also has interrupted his transactions, his business. Antonio has also cut short his friends, and Antonio has incited his enemies, and a whole lot of complaints he makes against him, right? And then he says, what's the difference between Christians and Jews? Both have the senses, right? Both have the feelings, both have emotions, right? And if Jews have done any wrong to Christians, Christians do take revenge against the Jews, right? Now, Christians have done wrong against Jews, right? Now, how come Jews will not take revenge? Shylock says this. So Shylock says that this is what Christians have taught us, to take revenge against the wrongdoers, right? And since they have done it, so we'll improve the kind of revenge that we take against the Christians, right? And then that very moment you saw then after you saw the entrance of servant, right? This is the servant of Antonio, right? Antonio comes here searching Saladino and Saladino, and finding it them there, he then delivers the news that Antonio is waiting for them, right? Saladino and Saladino take it, okay? And immediately after here they do take the lead. There enters Tibal. Tibal is one of the friends of Shylock, and Shylock had sent Tibal at his own expense, right, to Geneva to get the information where his daughter Jessica is, right? And Shylock he had access to Tibal that he brought any news from his daughter, right? But to his dismay, Tibal says that he missed daughter Jessica wherever he went, hearing the news about her, right? Shylock was completely disappointed at this, and he said that now whatever he had is everything lost, right? His diamond ring that he had purchased, paying 2,000 ducats at Frankfurt, that was taken by his daughter Jessica when she got eloped, right? And other than that, she had also taken a whole lot of ducats. Then she had also taken precious stones, right? Jewelries, and many more things, right? And then Shylock wished that had Jessica died in front of him, that he would have taken all those into life, right? And if Jessica's dead body is put into the coffin with her belongings like money, right, ducats, then Shylock said that he would have taken all those money, right, and then with the coffin, right, to the cemetery, right? That is what here Shylock said. So Shylock then here said that that was a great loss. He already had a great loss, right? Because sending Tibal to search Jessica, right, was at Shylock's expense, right? Tibal is staying out there, eating, traveling, everything. The expense was on Shylock's, right, expenditure, right? And thus there was a whole lot of loss on the other loss, right? Understand? But here Tibal then gives some sort of relief to Shylock, saying that On his way back to Venice from Geneva, he came across the news that Antonius is right. Right? On hearing this, Shylock is rejoiced. Right? Because that is what is a chance to take revenge against him. Okay? And Shylock, here Val also said that many of the say creditors of Antonio were also in the same ship that brought Tubal to Venice. So on hearing their talks, he said that now creditors of Antonio are with the hope that they won't get their money because now Antonio is completely bankrupt. Right? So Shylock becomes very happy. But Tubal also in between added the sad news for Shylock, saying that Jessica spent 80 days to stay one night in the Geneva hotel. Right? And here Tubal also get another very shattering news to Shylock, saying that Jessica exchanged a diamond ring, right, with a monk, right, in Geneva, right. So that really offended Shylock, right. But towards the end, here you notice that Shylock sending Tubal. Now you go to the Venice court, consult a lawyer, book a lawyer, pay him in advance, and I just want to see you that Antony's partisan. I want to take your Antony's part, right? Which was a deliberate, knowing of mind of Shylock that he wanted to get rid of Antony from Venice, right? So that Shylock will be the sole proprietor, right, in Venice doing his business. Okay, and then he tells Tubal to go and fix it all, and then you come to synagogue. Right, synagogue is a place of Jewish worship. Right, and that will be how Act 3, Scene 1 end. Right, and this will happen in the last session. Okay, now what happens in the remaining scenes in our Act 3? Right, there are 5 scenes to complete in Act 3. So today we will see Act 3, Scene 2. Right? So let's travel up to where we can move to. Okay? So see Act 3, Scene 2. So Act 3, Scene 2 takes us to Belmont. Right? And whenever we are in Belmont, we are in a room of the magnificent, right, mansion of Portia's. Right? So Portia has a beautiful house to live in. She is a heiress, right, of Belmont. She is a very rich lady of Belmont, right? And there appears the sun, right, with his friend Gracia. Okay? And in the scene, we also see Narisha and the attendants of Portia. Okay? And as I told you that in the play The Merchant of Venice, there are 3 casket scenes. 2 of the casket scenes we have already seen in our last session. The first being the Prince of Morocco's, and the second being the Prince of Aragon, right? Both of them were the failures in choosing the caskets, right? Now we move on to the third casket scene, and this is the final casket scene of the play The Merchant of Venice, right? Now what happens? Let us see. So Portia is seen talking to Bassanio, right? Bassanio has come to try his luck to choose the casket, right? Now before Bassanio chooses the casket, what did Portia say? So see, Portia says, I pray you tarry pause a day or 2. So I pray. That means here I stands for Portia. So Portia says, right, I request you, Bassanio, tarry. Tarry means to wait. Right? So I request you, Bassanio, to wait for a day or 2. Right? Before you hazard means before you take the risk of choosing the casket. Right? So Portia tells Bassanio, right, with a request, right, to wait for a day or 2 before he takes up the risk of selecting the casket. Right? So if you want, you can take 1 day time, or if you wish, you can also take 2 days time. Right? She said, in choosing wrong, I lose your company. Because if you choose wrong, then I will lose your company. That means I shall no longer be yours. Right? I cannot marry you, or you cannot marry me. Right? So I shall lose your company. Right? That's what here Portia said. So see here, Portia did not give time to Prince of Morocco, nor to Prince of arrogant. So this is a clear indication for us to know that Portia has somewhere or the other in her heart, right, has kept Bassanio. Right, she wanted Bassanio, right, to be her husband. Right, that's why she is taking the time. Right, you can take 1 day time, you can also take 2 days time, right, to select the casket. But when you come to choose the casket after that, right, you choose the right casket, because I don't want to lose your company. Right, she said. Therefore, forbear a while. Therefore, wait for some time. Forbear a while means wait for some time. Do not be hasty in taking the decision. Right? Take time. Be cool. Right? And then come. There is something tells me, but it is not that. And she says, there is something though that tells me, but I am sure that it is not. It is not. She says, okay? I would not lose you, so I do not want to lose you. At any cost, I don't want to lose you. Portia says, okay? And you know yourself. Here counsels not in such a quality, and she says, and you know yourself, Bassanio. Right? Hatred does not give as such as an advice. So if there is a hatred in my heart, right, I won't be giving you any advice, do this, do that, right? So since there is love in my heart, right, so I want you to take time, right, A or 2, right, that's what here also said, okay. So though she said that it's not out of love, right, but at the same time she says that hatred doesn't give me such advice, right, then see, but lest you should not understand me well, but lest means otherwise you should not understand me well. And yet a maiden hath no tongue but thought, and she says, but for a young lady, maiden means a young lady, but for a young lady, right, has no tongue, that means has no other choices, right, but for a young lady has no other choices but thought, except to think, right, she only has a thought. Let us now. I would detain you here some month. So I would detain you. Detain means I would make you stay. Right? So I would make you stay for some month. So I want you to stay here in Belmont for 1 month. Or if you wish, you can also take 2 months time. Right? Before you venture for me, before you try to venture for me is before you try, right, to risk your life to win. Right? So you can take 1 day time, you can take 2 days time, right? If you still are not sure of choosing the casket, the right casket, you can take 1 month time or even 2 months time. Right? Portia said to Bassanio. Okay? So I could teach you how to choose, right? And she says, I could teach you how to choose the right casket, because I know in which casket my portrait is, my image is. I can teach you. I can give you the hint. Right? But then I'm for some. But then if I do that, then I will be violating my swear, my promise that I made to my dying father. Right? So I'll go against it. Portia says, so I don't want to provide any hint. Right? In which casket is my portrait. Okay, so for that, be sure. And to be sure, you need time. So you can take 1 day time, 2 days time, 1 month time, 2 months time. Right? Here she said. So will I never be. So this I can never do. Right? So what is that she cannot do? She cannot give the hint. She cannot teach Bassanio to choose the casket or which casket to choose, because she has already given a promise to her father who was dying. Then that she will not violate her promise. Okay. So may you miss me. Right now. So you may choose the wrong casket and you may lose me. You may miss me. That you will not be able to marry me. Right? That I had been foresawn. Right? So that I had already committed the sin of breaking my promise. Right? She said, okay, pursue your eyes, so confound your eyes, records your eyes, right, that have overlooked, right, so that have cast a spell upon you. She says, so I'm already in love with you when you have seen, when you have looked at it, right? What she said, and divided me, and this because of this, right, has divided me into 2 halves. Right? The look of yours has already divided me into 2 halves. Right? 1 half of me is yours. 1 half of me, Portia says, is yours. Bassanio's. Right? The other half yours. The remaining, right, other half is also yours. So that means The whole sum of myself as Portia is yours. Right, she said. Okay, mine own, I would say. Right, so I should say that it is my own. Right, my whole self. But if mine, then yours. But if I consider it is me, myself, Portia, then the whole sum of Portia is yours. Right, Portia said. Okay, right, let's see. And so all yours. And so all of me, right, is yours. Right, the whole of me is yours. Right, she said, oh, this naughty times. And she says, oh means alas. Alas. Right, these naughty times. That means these bad times. So she calls the times bad. Right, because it's the bad time that is, right, going on. Right, this now. So alas, these naughty times, right, is the time that we are living in. Okay? But bars between the honors and their rights. Right, but bars means obstacles, hindrances, right, stoppages. Okay, so these naughty times have put the bar, have put the obstacles between the owners and the rights and the possessions. Right, same as possessions, the one who possesses it. Right, so what is difficulty with us going on now? Portia says that it is the time, and the time is bad. Right, between the owner and the possessor. Okay, and so though yours, and though everything is yours, she says, though everything is yours, right, not yours. Right, that means I am not yours, I am yet not yours. Though everything is yours, that means Portia has already expressed herself that she has profound love for Bassanio, but still Bassanio cannot claim that I am his, because, right, there is a lottery, right, which Bassanio will have to write down. Take the examination. Okay, he will have to choose the right casket, that only Portia will belong to him. Okay, so though everything is of Bassanio's, yet Portia is not Bassanio's. This is okay. Prove it so. So if it is proven so, she says, let fortune go to hell for it. Right? Not I speak too long. And she says, right now. Okay? So she says that I speak too long. That means, right? She is saying here that she speaks okay too long so far. So far you have seen here, right? She has been on and on and on. Right? Nowhere you see okay Bassanio entered into conversation with her. It is only Portia, right? The beginning of okay Act 3 Scene 2 that Portia is on and on. Okay, so she also knows that she is speaking a whole lot so far, right? But it is to twice the time. But she also knows the answer why she is doing it, right? She says that, but it is to twice the time. Twice the time is, but it is to prolong the time. It is to stress the time. The more time that I speak, right, to Bassanio will have time to select the casket. You'll get time to select the casket, right? Portia says that I'm speaking too long, but at the same time I am here, right, stretching the time, right? I am here prolonging the time, right? To ache it, to hold it, and to draw it out in length, and to spread out in length. That means the more I speak here, right, the duration that okay Bassanio will get will be right enough, okay, to stay you from election. Election means selection, right? So that will stay from selecting the casket. That will stay okay Bassanio from making the choice, right? So Portia also expects herself to, give time to Bassanio so that he would at least get time to think, right? In which casket is the portrait of Portia, right? So the longer time that she speaks, the longer time that Bassanio takes, okay, to choose the casket. Okay. Now what did Bassanio say? Bassanio says, let me choose. But okay, Bassanio has already made up his mind. He says here that, but let me choose the casket. Okay, so I don't need time. So I don't need 1 day time, right? Nor 2 days time, nor a month's time, not even 2 months time, right? I am ready right now. For I live upon the rack, because Bassanio says, for as I am, that means, because in this present condition, I live upon the rack, that means I live my life in Egypt. Bassanio says, right? So Bassanio did not want to take time, though he is given, right, to take time, right? Bassanio says, the longer time that I take, the bigger pain will I have, right? Listen, so as many days I get the time to select the casket, right, the worries, right, the more worries I'll have, okay, right? So why not finish these worries at one go, right? So I'll choose the casket, right, and right, the fate will decide whether it is right or wrong, right? So let me end my agony here. So I don't want to take the agony for long, right? That's what this means. Okay, so Bassanio says he needs no time. Right now, right? He is ready to select the casket then and there, right? Because the longer time he gets to choose the casket, the agony he will have every day, right? The pain he will have every day. So why not finish this pain at one go? He said. Okay. Then Portia said, upon the rack Bassanio. So Portia says, right? So if it is an agony, right, Bassanio? Right? Then confess what treason there is mingled with your love. Then you confess, then you admit what disloyalty. Treason means disloyalty. Right? So what disloyalty is mingled. Mingled here means mixed or associated with. Right? What disloyalty is associated with your love? She asked. Right? Then confess, then admit. Right? Then accept what disloyalty is associated with your love. Right? Bassanio says, none but that ugly treason of mistress. So look at the use of grammar, none but. We have understood this in this direction, right? Whenever we begin with none, we use but. None but means only. We know it. So see, none but that ugly treason, right? Treason means disloyalty of mistress. Mistress here is doubt, feeling of doubt of choosing the right casket, right? So Bassanio says, only that ugly, right, disloyalty of feeling of doubt in choosing the casket, he says, right, which makes me fear the enjoying of my love. So this is what is fearing me, to enjoy my love for you, right? I do have love for you, but what is barring me, what is the obstacle, right? That is the doubt, right, of choosing the casket, right? Because nobody is sure, right, to choose the casket, right? Prince of Morocco failed, Prince of Aragon failed in choosing the casket, right? Now it is Bassanio. Okay, so see, there may as well be amity and life between snow and fire as treason and my love. So what he says, so there cannot be the friendship, amity means friendship, there cannot be friendship, right, and life, right, between snow and fire, right? So there cannot be friendship between snow and fire, right? When fire is, there cannot be snow. When snow is, there cannot be fire, right? So two of them cannot be friends, okay, as treason and my love. Similarly, there is, okay, no friendship between my disloyalty and my love, right? My disloyalty is one thing, right? My love is the other. Here Bassanio is saying, okay. Then Portia says, A means yes, but I fear you speak upon the rack, but I am afraid that you are speaking under the pressure of torture, right? Here, okay, upon the rack means pressure of torture, pressure of torment, right? So Portia says, yes, but I am okay afraid to tell you that you are speaking under the pressure of torture, where men enforced to speak anything, where men are compelled to speak anything, right? Where, okay, they are compelled to confess anything, where men are confessed, when men are forced, when men are, okay, bound to confess anything, right? Here Portia said, okay. Then Bassanio says, promise me life and I'll confess the truth. Now what did Bassanio say? So if you promise to spare my life, then I'll confess the truth. Then I'll admit the fact. Right? Here Bassanio says. Okay. So if you promise me to spare my life, then I'll admit, then I'll confess the truth. Then I'll confess the fact. Okay. The Portia says, well then, confess and leave. Right? So Portia says, well then, right? So you confess and then leave. Right? Then Bassanio says, confess and love. Right, those two words, confess, love. Confess and love had been the very sum of my confession. These two words have been the very sum of my confession. Right. Oh, happy torment, he said. Right. When my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance. So when my torturer, since Portia is a torturer, you can say here, right, teaches me Right, answer for deliverance. That means he's teaching me the answer to deliverance. Right here, Basani is saying. Okay, right. But still here, what casket he is to choose is not told by Portia, because it is against her, against a promise that she had made to her father. Okay, and then Basani says, but let me to my fortune and the casket. And he says, but let me, right, go to my fortune. Right, let me go to decide my future, and right now take choice of my casket. So let me be taken to the place where the three caskets are. I'm ready to choose the casket. Right, here the Samuel said. Okay, curtain drawn from before the caskets, and then the son is led to where the three caskets are kept in the room, and as per Portia's order, the curtains are drawn by the enemy, and the three caskets are revealed. Right? The three caskets are revealed. Okay. Now, what did Basani choose? Okay. Or before Basani goes to choose the casket, how did Portia feel? Right? So these are the questions left with us. So in our next sitting, we'll again continue from here. Thank you very much.